I never imagined I'd wake up in my brother's skin, his tailored Armani suit chafing against flesh that wasn't mine, staring at a reflection that sneered back with his perfect veneers while my screams echoed in a voice that wasn't my own. The boardroom betrayal hit harder than the swap, my code, my algorithms, the very backbone of Apex Dynamics, credited to him after he'd sold me out to the feds as the fall guy for his embezzlement scheme. And now, with his empire crumbling and my mind trapped in his body, I'd make him watch as I dismantled it all, piece by guilty piece, until he begged for the mercy he never showed his just an IT girl. It started in the sterile hum of the server room. 3 years ago, when the air conditioners wheezed like asthmatic ghosts and the fluorescent lights buzzed a constant reminder that I, Diana Hale, was invisible. Silicon Valley's golden child, my brother Marcus, had just been promoted to CEO of Apex Dynamics, our family's tech darling born from Dad's garage tinkering in the 90s. Marcus, with his Ivy League polish and shark-toothed smile, paraded through board meetings like he invented the internet himself.
Me?
I was the ghost in the machine, the sister who coded the neural networks that powered their AI-driven trading platform, the one who debugged the firewalls when hackers sniffed too close. Just an IT girl, he'd laugh at family dinners in our sprawling Palo Alto estate, clinking his scotch glass against mine.
D.
You're the WD-40 keeping my wheels turning. Without you, I'd be spinning in place. I swallowed it then, because blood's thicker than bandwidth. Mom had died young. Dad followed her into the ground after a heart attack from overwork, leaving Marcus to raise me through high school while he chased venture capital. I owed him, or so I told myself. But that debt curdled the night of the gala. Apex's 10th anniversary bash at the Fairmont. Chandeliers dripping like digital tears over black tie executives and influencers snapping selfies for LinkedIn glory. I hovered by the bar in a thrift store sheath dress, nursing a gin and tonic, when Marcus sidled up, his cologne a cloud of entitlement.
D.
Meet Victor Langford. He's the ghost in our machine now, our new CTO. Brilliant mind. Oxford pedigree. You'll love handing over the reins. Victor.
Tall.
Angular. With eyes like polished obsidian and a British accent that made VCs swoon. He extended a hand,
Cool and appraising.
Diana Hale, Marcus raves about your contributions. The adaptive algorithms in TradeForge? Revolutionary. Shame you're not in the C-suite to claim them.
Shame.
The word lodged in my throat like bad code. Marcus clapped Victor on the back, whispering something that made them both chuckle, low, conspiratorial, the kind of laugh that excludes. I excused myself to the ladies' room, where I splashed water on my face and stared at the mirror, whispering, "You're the spine."
D.
Not the suit. But as I slipped out, I caught the tail end of their huddle by the velvet ropes. Marcus's voice. Oily and urgent. She's loyal.
Vic. Family.
Whatever dirt the SEC digs up on the offshore accounts, she'll take the hit. Just keep her buried in the basement. Offshore accounts. SEC. The words hit like a kernel panic. I'd optimized TradeForge's backend to handle high-frequency trades, but Marcus had twisted it, siphoning microfractions of pennies into Cayman shells, millions vanishing into ether. And he planned to pin it on me? The coder with no alibi. No power? I didn't confront him that night. Confrontations for alphas. I was the beta, the fixer. Instead, I started digging. Late nights in the server farm. VPNs bouncing through Estonia and Singapore. Unraveling the audit trails he'd buried under layers of proprietary encryption. By dawn, I had it. Timestamps linking transfers to my login. Forged metadata, making it look like I'd authored the siphon script. He hadn't just stolen my work, he'd weaponized it to frame me. The swap happened 2 weeks later, in the bowels of Apex's R&D lab. Victor, ever the innovator, was testing EchoSync, a neural interface for remote collaboration, beaming thoughts across hemispheres via quantum entanglement. Mind melding for the boardroom, he'd pitched. But the prototype was glitchy, hungry for gray matter. Marcus volunteered us both for the beta, him for glory, me for team building. Strapped into adjacent pods, electrodes kissing our temples, the hum built to a whine. And then, nothing. Blackness, vast as a crashed hard drive. When I surfaced, the world inverted. My hands, his hands, flexed in Italian leather gloves, broad and manicured. The mirror in the recovery room showed Marcus Hale staring back, his jawline sharp as a knife edge. Panic clawed at my throat, but it emerged as his baritone timbre. What the fuck? Victor burst in, white coat flapping, eyes wide behind wire rims. Fascinating. The sync held.
But.
Polarity reversed. MS. Hale?
Your.
Processing.
Processing.
That's what he called it when my mind hijacked my brother's body. Scans confirmed. Neural patterns swapped. Irises mismatched. But the hardware intact. Reversal risked coma, or worse. Give it 48 hours, Victor urged, his voice a scalpel. The decoherence should snap you back. It didn't. By hour 72, Marcus, in my slight frame, my freckled skin, stumbled into the lab, wild-eyed, demanding his throne. This is insane.
Vic, fix it.
I have a quarterly call in an hour. I watched from the shadows, his body heavy on my bones, rage simmering like overclocked silicon. That's when the betrayal crystallized. Marcus, in my skin, leaned close, whispering to Victor, double the offshore pole. Use her access, my access now, to cover tracks. If the feds knock, she's the glitch. He meant me. Trapped in a shell, I'd inherit his sins.
No.
Fuck that. I slipped out in his Bentley, the engine purring like a predator, heading to the estate. Mom's old Faberge egg sat on the mantel, a relic from Dad's first IPO windfall. I smashed it, shards glittering like broken promises. That night, as Marcus, in me, slept off the sedatives, I rifled his safe, passcodes, ledgers, a flash drive labeled D's Folly, evidence of the framed job, timestamps I'd planted as countermeasures now twisted against me. Dawn broke with SEC agents at the gates, badges flashing under sodium lamps. Marcus, bleary in my pajamas, stammered denials while I, his spitting image, watched from the upstairs balcony, heart hammering in his ribcage. Mr. Hale, the lead agent barked. We have warrants for Apex Dynamics. Embezzlement. Wire fraud. Your sister's involved. He sold me out in seconds. Diana? God.
Yes.
She's been unstable. Handling the code. Check her logs. Unstable. The word ignited something primal. I descended the stairs, his loafers silent on marble, and extended a hand. Agent Ramirez? Marcus Hale. Let's talk in my office. In the oak-paneled den, I spun a tale, calm, authoritative, laced with jargon only a CEO could wield. My sister's brilliant but burned out. Sleepless nights in the server room. I suspected irregularities. Tried to intervene. Here's the drive, full confession from her hand. Ramirez's eyes narrowed, but the evidence sang. By noon, Diana Hale was in cuffs. Marcus's body shielding his own ass. I felt every click of the bracelets on my wrists, his wrists now, as they hauled me away. But inside, I smiled. Phase 1, Containment. The controversial call came that evening, in the sterile echo of a holding cell. Victor, via burner phone smuggled by a lab tech loyal to the prototype, and my veiled threats. Diana, or should I say, Marcus? The SEC's auditing trade forge.
Your
Brother's panicking. In your body. No less. Wants to pull the plug on EchoSync. Pull it, I growled. His voice gravelly from disuse. But first, upload the kill switch. The kill switch. My masterpiece. Buried in TradeForge's core, a demon that could cascade failures across the platform, erasing data trails while simulating a cyber attack from a rival, none other than Langford Innovations, Victor's old firm. Controversial? Hell yes. It'd tank Apex's stock, wipe billions, orphan thousands of 401ks. Innocent blood for the guilty. But Marcus had lit the fuse. I'd just hand him the dynamite. As Diana paced the bullpen, ranting about conspiracies in a voice too shrill for my norm, I worked the angles. Board calls from the estate. His Rolodex a Rolodex of titans, senators, lobbyists. A DOJ fixer who'd owe Dad a favor. Leak the frame job, I instructed the fixer. Anonymous source. Make it look like internal sabotage. By week 2, headline screamed, Apex CEO's sister framed in mega fraud? Marcus, sweating in my skin, called a presser, denying everything with feigned outrage. But the polls, public sentiment on X and Reddit, turned. Free Diana trended. My mugshot, his face now, a symbol of corporate greed. Victor, sensing the winds, hedged, late-night meetings in his Menlo Park townhouse, where over single malt he confessed his complicity. Marcus recruited me for the siphon. Promised equity. But the swap. It's permanent.
D.
Quantum bonds don't break.
Permanent.
The word hung like a guillotine. I'd live as him, his wife,
His mistresses.
his empire, while my body rotted in Gen Pop, drugged and diminished. Rage birthed resolve. Then weaponize it, I said. EchoSync 2.0. Link our minds. Let me puppeteer.
He did.
Illegally. Unethically. A neural leash threading from his lab to my cell. Through it, I fed Diana whispers, paranoia, accusations against Victor, planting seeds of doubt. He started unraveling. My once steady hands now trembling on keyboards, voice cracking in depositions. The board whispered of incompetence. Shares dipped 15%. Phase 2, the purge. Using Marcus's credentials, I greenlit layoffs, targeted, surgical. Victor's allies first. Severance packages laced with NDAs that buried EchoSync deeper. Then, the rivals, a whisper campaign to VCs, painting Apex as a house of cards. Stock plummeted 40%. Marcus, in my frailty, begged for intervention. D.
Please.
Switched back. I'll confess. Everything. Too late. The climax brewed in the boardroom. Month 4. As monsoon rains lashed the glass walls. I'd summon them all, directors in Brioni, lawyers clutching briefcases like shields. At the head, in his throne, I laid it bare, projections of insolvency, unless they ousted the instability at the core. Diana Hale, I intoned, his timbre booming, is a liability. Resign her proxy. Install me fully as CTO ad interim. Murmurs rippled. Controversial? Entrenching the CEO amid scandal? But numbers don't lie. And neither did the forged memos I'd planted, implicating her in leaks to competitors. Vote passed 7-3. As Diana was escorted from Apex, fired, disgraced. His screams echoing down the halls, I felt a twisted vindication. Revenge tasted like ash. But power? That burned clean. Yet the twist lurked in the subroutines. Victor, ever the schemer, had backdoored the neural link. That night, in the estate's master suite, his bed, silk sheets mocking my displacement, a ping, coordinates to an abandoned warehouse in Oakland. Come alone, the message read. The truth about the swap. Heart or his heart, pounding. I drove the Tesla through fog-shrouded streets, wipers slashing like accusations. Inside, amid rusting shipping containers, Victor waited, flanked by shadows. Not alone. Marcus, in my body, gaunt, feral, stepped forward, eyes mine but hollowed by betrayal's weight. You think you won, he spat. My voice a rasp. The frame was mutual. Dad's cancer? Not stress. I poisoned him, slow, untraceable, to inherit Apex undivided. You found the ledgers.
Confronted me.
So I swapped us first. Echo Sync wasn't glitch. It was my endgame. Victor, my plant. Your mind in my body was the distraction.
Now.
With you exposed.
Exposed.
The feds burst from the gloom. Ramirez at the fore. Cuffs glinting. Diana Hale or Marcus. Doesn't matter. Wire fraud. Conspiracy. Murder one. The drive you planted? Trace back to the CEO's IP. My IP.
His now.
The reversal hit like decoherence. Victor's backdoor had mirrored our logs. Swapping culpability mid-revenge. I'd rebuilt his empire just to inherit its chains. As they dragged me, him, away, Marcus smirked in my flesh. Welcome home, sis. IT girls forever. But in the end, as the cell door clanged, his body, my mind, our sins entwined, I whispered to the ghosts, round 2. Because in America's Game of Thrones, the swap never truly ends. The fluorescent hell of Santa Rita jail chewed souls like cheap ram. But Marcus's frame, broad, unbroken, earned me a corner bunk in protective custody. Whispers of snitch bouncing off cinderblock walls. I was the CEO in chains. The Titan toppled. But inside, Diana Hale plotted reboots. The guards called me Hale, neutral ground, while inmates eyed the suit I'd worn in, rumpled Armani, a badge of fallen grace. Sleep came in fragments, haunted by echoes, Mom's lullabies twisted into Marcus's laughter, Dad's workbench stained not with solder, but phantom arsenic. First contact slithered in on visiting day, week 6. Victor Langford, prim in chinos and loafers, perched on the stool like a vulture at a wake. Plexiglass divided us, his voice tinny through the grill. Marcus or Diana? Semantics. The board circling. Without you, Apex is hemorrhaging. 60% drop. They want a fire sale. I leaned close, his stubble itching his cheek. And your angle? Vic? EchoSync's patent? Yours if you testify. His smile didn't reach those obsidian eyes. Clever girl.
But the twist?
I recorded the swap. Full consent forms, in your handwriting. Forged, of course, but irrefutable. Bailout. Play CEO. And it's buried. Cross me? Leaks to the Times. Hails siblings' mad science whore. Blackmails the Silicon Valley handshake. I nodded. The kingpin's poise masking my churn. Bails on you.
Then.
CTO. Full access. He delivered. By dawn, I was free. Conditions, ankle monitor, daily check-ins, Apex under federal oversight. The drive from Alameda to Palo Alto blurred in sodium haze. Tesla's autopilot a cruel irony. Home, the estate, loomed like a mausoleum. Hedges trimmed by ghosts. Inside, dust motes danced in sun shafts. Family photos mocking, toddler Marcus hoisting me on shoulders. Promise of partnership now poison. The board reconvened that afternoon. Virtual links flickering with wary faces, East Coast venture lords nursing martinis. West Coast tech bros in hoodies. I took the digital helm.
His voice steady.
Gentlemen. Ladies. Apex indoors. TradeForge's outage? A hiccup.
My.
Personal matters? Resolved. I propose EchoSync integration. Mind-linked trading. Billions in edge. Murmurs peaked. Then assent. Controversial? Human augmentation in finance? SEC red flags waved. But greed's a stronger semaphore. Victor slotted in as consultant, his fingers in every pie. But I had my own fork, a shadow script, burrowing through EchoSync's code, linking not just minds but memories. Pull the thread, and Marcus's confessions, whispered in my flesh, would flood the net. Meanwhile, in Santa Rita, Diana festered. Reports filtered through, suicide watch after a shank fight. His, lawyers pleading insanity. The neural leash, tenuous post-swap, hummed with his despair. End it. Switch back. I'll sign it all over. I severed it. Cold turkey. Let him stew in my skin's fragility. The period cramps. The catcalls from COs mistaking gender for weakness. Revenge's second act demanded allies. I reached out to Lena Vasquez, Dad's old engineer, now retired in Eugene, Oregon, gray-streaked hair, hands calloused from circuit boards. Video call over encrypted line, her bungalow. Ferns framing a face etched with loyalty. That you and Marcus's meet suit? Heard the news. Frame job. Mutual, I admitted. Voice cracking on his timbre.
Dad's death.
He did it. For the company. Silence. Then steel. I suspected. The arsenic traces in his coffee mug, autopsy buried by lawyers. What do you need? Proof. Old backups from the garage days. Anything tying Marcus to the poisons. She delivered a thumb drive via overnight, scans of receipts. Timestamps from a Reno pharmacy. Marcus's alias. Controversial? Digging up graves. Slandering the dead? But justice ain't polite. It's a hack job. With it, I escalated. Anonymous drops to Ramirez. Reopen Hale Sr. Toxicology. The feds bit. Exhuming Dad's plot under Marin Hills. Rain-soaked earth yielding bones that whispered murder. Headlines pivoted. Apex Murdergate. Stock stabilized at 45%. Vultures circling for buyouts. Victor pushed consolidation. Merge EchoSync with TradeForge. His equity ballooning. Our late-night strategy sessions in his townhouse turned tango, him probing for weakness. Me feigning deference. One bourbon haze. He cracked. You know why Marcus chose you? Not just family. Dad's will, codicil. Apex to you if you graduated MIT. He poisoned the path. Twist upon twist. I'd ace the exams. But Marcus lost the paperwork. Blaming admin error. My career? Shadowed in his wake. Rage boiled. But I played long game. Then let's honor it. I purred. Full board vote on succession. The climax brewed in Q3. Apex's Innovation Summit at the Moscone Center, neon holograms pulsing to EDM bass. Influencers in AR glasses toasting VR toasts. I keynote. His charisma dialed to 11. EchoSync isn't tech, it's transcendence. Link your mind to the market, feel the surge. Preempt the crash. Applause thundered. Deals sealed in champagne flutes. Backstage. Victor cornered me. Breath hot with scotch. Signed the merger. Your cut? 2%. Mine? Controlling interest. Betrayal's echo. But I'd anticipated. The shadow script triggered mid-handshake. Memories flooding his implant. Marcus's voice. Tinny, Vic. The sister takes the fall. Dad's stash in the Caymans ours. His face blanched, eyes glazing as the net absorbed it all. Leaks to Bloomberg. Wired. The DOJ tip line. Chaos cascaded. Victor bolted. But feds swarmed the green room. Ramirez cuffing him live on C-SPAN feed. Conspiracy to defraud. And tampering with EchoSync? That's a Rico cherry. Boards scattered. Shares cratered 70%. I stood amid the wreckage. His body unbowed. Whispering to the void. Your move, brother. But the reversal whispered back. In the melee, a burner buzzed in my pocket. Lena's voice. Urgent. D.
Stop.
The codicil?
Forgery.
Dad left it all to Marcus. You were the spare.
He didn't poison, you did.
Amnesia from the swap? Or denial?
No.
The drive, her drive, now suspect. Memories flickered, my hands, young and trembling, dosing Dad's mug after he cut my inheritance, raging at favoritism. Marcus had covered. Framed himself as villain to protect me. The swap, his gift, trapping me in success to atone. Horror dawned as sirens wailed. Revenge, my scaffold, collapsed. Was I the ghost or the machine? The summit fallout painted San Francisco's fog in crimson headlines. Apex implodes. CEO's sister at epicenter of fraud murder probe. Paparazzi swarmed the estate like locusts, drones buzzing plate glass. Forcing me to ground zero, Santa Rita's intake. Trading Armani for orange jumpsuit, his frame folding into a 6x8 that smelled of bleach and broken dreams. Bail revoked, new charges, accessory to patricide. The codicils ink damning as DNA.
Inside.
The swap's irony peaked. Marcus, in my body, transferred to the women's wing, gained visitation privileges. His lawyers spinning rehabilitation tales. First meet, through grill again. His eyes, my eyes, gleamed with weary triumph. Or should I say, the real CEO? Lena called. The truth's out. I gripped the receiver. knuckles whitening on his bones.
Lies.
You forged it. Poisoned him to keep me down. A sad smile. Freckles crinkling. Down? You were up.
Sis.
MIT offer. Dad's pride. But you snapped that night. After the will reading. I saw you dose the scotch. Covered with the frame. The swap. Echo sync to let you live my life. Learn the weight. Victor, my plant to test you.
Test.
The word festered. A virus in veins. Flash is assaulted. Dad's slumped form. My whisper. For the company. Amnesia. Swap induced. Unraveling now in jailhouse therapy, Dr. Ellis. A shrink with a clipboard and pity eyes. Probing. Repressed guilt. Mr. Hale or Ms. Gender blurred. Identity a glitch. But revenge? It morphed. If Marcus was savior, not serpent, then Victor, exposed but escaped, fled to a Seychelles bolt hole, held the kill switch. His merger docs, buried in Apex's ruins, funneled assets to Shellcore, billions laundered, employees' pensions vaporized. Controversial calculus, rat out the phantom brother, or burn the empire to ash. I chose fire. From the yard, payphone calls to Ramirez, Victor's coordinates. And the ledgers, full siphon trail. Feds mobilized. Interpol netting him in Victoria Harbor. Yacht impounded. Assets frozen. But the board, sensing blood, countersued, breach of fiduciary, demanding his testimony to salvage scraps. Deposition day. Federal courthouse in Oakland. Air thick with espresso and enmity. Suited up in ill-fitting khakis. I took the stand, his voice a monotone dirge. Apex's core? My sister's code. Marcus Hale? A thief in more ways than one. Lies layered. Protecting the myth while torching Victor's empire. Cross-exam. VC sneering. You expect us to believe a body swap? Science fiction for the tabloids. Check the patents, I countered. Echo sync logs. Truths in the qubits. Jury deliberated 2 days. Verdict. Apex liquidated. Victor's 25 to life. Board absolved on technicalities. Outside. Rain lashed Market Street. Protesters chanting justice for Diana. Me. The IT ghost canonized. Marcus. Released on technicals insanity plea. My body's frailty his shield. Waited in a rental Prius. Engine idling like hesitation. Drive, he said. My voice soft. We cruised 280 south. Redwoods blurring past. Toward Big Sur's cliffs. Silence stretched. Then cracked. Why cover? The poison? You were spiraling, he admitted. Dad's favoritism broke you. I thought the CEO's skin would heal, power, as therapy. But revenge. It amplified the rot.
Rot.
My hands, his, trembled on the wheel. The controversial pivot. Confess. Or co-opt. Swap back. I demanded. Echo sync reversal. Live as me. The fall girl. He nodded. Coordinates to Victor's confiscated lab. Midnight arrival. Ghosts of tech haunting sterile halls. Strapped in pods again. Hum building. But decoherence faltered. Bonds fused. Minds merged. Not swap. But hybrid. Thoughts entwined. Decisions dual. Dawn broke with us, side by side. Bodies unchanged. But essences blurred. Marcus and me. We rebuild. Apex 2.0. Ethical AI. I and him. or burn it. No more ghosts. Debate raged in boardless voids. Ending debatable. Merger of selves. Company reborn under Hail Collective. Transparent code. Profit shared. But nights. Whispers persisted. Whose hand on the vial? Forgiveness. Or facade? The real climax? A year on. IPO relaunch. Nasdaq bell tolling. Confetti rained. Flashes popped. Marcus, me, smiled for cameras, but inside, I plotted the final hack. Leak the truth. Shatter the illusion. Or let it stand. A controversial piece? America's underbelly thrives on such ambiguities. Revenge as redemption. Betrayal as balm. The Hail Collective's rise was Silicon Valley scripture rewritten, Phoenix from fraud's ashes. Ethical AI touted in TED Talks and Forbes covers. I helmed the C-suite in Marcus's husk. His baritone pitching symbiotrade, EchoSync evolved. MindLinks consensual. Profits funneled to worker co-ops and Dad's scholarship fund. Marcus, in my frame, fronted the human face, diversity panels, whistleblower hotlines. Her slight build a symbol of resilience. Public devoured it. Hail redemption trended. Valuations soared to pre-scandal peaks. But under the gloss, the merge festered, our thoughts a tangled net, his guilt threading my rage like barbed wire. Victor's trial anchored the tension. Federal court in San Jose, a circus of suits and subpoenas. I testified last, the victim in CEO drag, recounting the swap with clinical detachment, neural inversion, quantum lock. Mr. Langford exploited it for control. Jurors nodded. Techies in the gallery live tweeting. Marcus watched from the back. My eyes locking his ours. In silent accord. Hold the line. Convictions sealed. Life. No parole. As marshals led him away, Victor twisted. Oxford polish cracked. You think it's over. Hail, the real poison's in your blood. Marcus's confession vid. Buried on the dark web. One ping. And your fairy tale crumbles. The threat lingered. A demon dormant. Post-trial, we retreated to the estate, now co-owned. Minimalist Renos erasing Dad's ghosts. White walls. Eames chairs. A single photo of us kids unaltered. Dinner rituals. Takeout pho from the strip mall. Debating code over basmati. Symbiotrade's blind spot, he'd say. Chopsticks poised. User consent. How do we enforce? I'd counter. His voice wry, with audits. Your idea?
Remember?
Pre-swap D. The hybrid mind blurred credits. Decisions a democratic deadlock. Controversial calls piled. Greenlight a military contract? His hawkishness. My pacifism. Expand to China? Market greed versus ethics firewall. Each vote. One mind, one say. But the tiebreaker? A coin flip app on my phone. Randomness as arbiter. Fate's hack. The buried secret resurfaced month 8. Lena's call shattering a board sim. D. Marcus? Check the backups. Victor's bluff, but there's more. Dad's journal. Hidden partition on the old server. We drove to her Eugene bungalow. 101 North, a ribbon of regret. She handed the drive. Hand steady. He knew about the poison. Chose silence for you both. Loved too fierce. Journal entries scrolled. Dad's scrawl. Dated post-will. Diana's rage mirrors mine at her age. Marcus covers. As I would. Apex? There's to heal or destroy. Forgive them. Tears, his, mine, blurred the screen. Betrayal inverted. Not just fraternal, but paternal. A chain of silences gilding sins. The climax crested at the annual gala, Fairmont Redux. Chandeliers mocking 3 years prior. I keynote Symbiotrades Beta. Neural demo linking volunteers in harmless trades. Feel the market's pulse. Ethical symbiosis. Applause swelled.
But backstage.
Victor's ping arrived, anonymous email. Vid attached. Marcus confessing the cover. Time-stamped pre-swap. I dosed him.
For D.
She'd never. Heart seized. Release it. And redemption raised. Lawsuits. Congressional probes. Our hybrid exposed as freak show. Suppress? Complicity in censorship. The very sin we'd slain. Marcus cornered me in the green room. My body taut with his resolve. Leak it. Truth's the only firewall. Or merge it, I argued. Integrate to Symbiotrade, anonymous confessional air. Catharsis for all.
Debate devolved to shouts.
His voice, mine, shrill. You're still the IT girl. Hiding in code. And you're the CEO. Polishing turds. Fists clenched. But the hybrid halted blows shared pain. A neural safe word. We compromised. Partial leak. Redacted. Framed as legacy lessons in a white paper. Controversial? Whitewashing murder. Forums ignited. Hails, heroes or hypocrites? Twists reversal hit dawn after. In the lab's pods, impulse reversal attempt. Desperation's debug. Hum peaked. But instead of swap, severance, minds cleaved. Essences rebounding to origins. I woke in my skin, slight, freckled, familiar, gasping. Marcus. Across. Blinked in his. D? It worked. Decoherence complete. But the cost? Memories partitioned. I retained the rage. He the guilt. No merge. Just mirrors sibling scarred. Staring. Ending? Debatable as Delta Blues. Collective thrived. But we parted. Him to philanthropy in Seattle. Me to a startup in Austin, open source ethics. No boardrooms. Last call. His voice gruff. Proud.
Sis.
Even the poison parts. Mine. Soft. Forgiven. Mostly. America's dark heart beats on. Revenge cycles. Swaps of soul, if not skin. Truths twisted till they fit.
Was it justice?
Or just another algorithm? You decide.